Hi, welcome to, is it the second live stream? I think it's the second live stream this month. And I feel like this month is going super slow. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's graphite. Maybe it's the theme. But it's slow. Like I feel like we've already spent like 4 live streams on this, but that is not the case. So, yeah, welcome. It's warm again here, so my computer is having a hard time and letting me know through blowing out a lot of air, which makes noise. So if you hear that in the background, that is a sound. But the upside is that we have great light, so we don't need extra lights, even though it's 8 p.m. So that's great. Welcome. Hey Linda, I missed you too. Like we were literally, I had to announce that you were not present for the Zoom call and everybody was like, what are we gonna do now? No, I'm just kidding. But we do always miss you. Hi Ariana. Hi Kelly. Great. Yeah, I haven't worked on this at all since, it was only Friday. This is a good thing. Like I've only not worked on this for 5 days. I moved around a lot of stuff, like everything behind me used to be my stuff and now it's gone. It's not gone, but we're in the process of basically emptying out my studio, moving to the living room. So that's what I've been doing. So what I'm gonna do, here's what I worked on. I'm gonna try and carefully show you without tapping my microphone. I can't see anything. Yeah, oh, a little bit lower, and there we go. There's a delay always in YouTube. It's a little difficult. Anyways, so this is what I did during the Zoom call. There are some photos on my Instagram if you want more detailed shots. Bonk, there we go. And for today, I'm gonna work on this arm at least, and then see how that goes. Maybe we'll have time for some other stuff. And so the thing that I mentioned, I think Friday, is that, you know, this is a whole sort of weird whatever start kind of process where I don't know what I'm doing. I got some general idea of some thing I did in my sketchbook that I kind of like and I kind of want to do it again. And that's how it started. And then, you know, you had these areas, including this area that was empty, and I wanted to fill it with something. And then I kind of, you can do it from your mind, but sometimes it's this balance between how difficult you want to make it for yourself, and how much time you want to spend on, you know, that area. So for me, it's easier if I do a sketch in my sketchbook. So I did that with the area below that I just showed you. I did a little sketch, kind of like a half sketch. It was half finished, just like most things in my life. And then it's easier because, you know, you can do it while, I don't know, you're watching Netflix, whatever. You can erase whatever you want. You can do it again. It doesn't really matter. And so that makes it easier for me. And so for the arm, and I mentioned this last time as well, for the arm, I took a reference photo of my arm, right? I'm not even going to show you because it's a really weird photo. I just put like my front camera on my phone and such a weird lens, right? It makes you all like weird, skinny Slender Man. But it's just sort of to understand where are the joints, just make it a little bit easier on yourself, right? Cool, let me catch up. Yeah, tell us about the course. Yeah, I'd love to hear about that when you're done with the Gretchen, of course. Gretchen goes first. So yeah, we got sun. Are you serious? Ma. We'll manage. If it travels, I'll try and see if I can fix the curtain. I went to an expo on Andy Warhol's textile designs from the 50s. Oh, I had no idea that guy did textile designs. That's cool. Let me grab my photo. So my kid went camping on a whim, and that kind of makes you, I didn't realize this, but it kind of makes you, part of your brain is like over there. It's like part of my brain is not available for any kind of task. So that was a funny thing to notice. I'm gonna fix this curtain now because I can see my light. You can't see it, but I can see it. Hold on. There we go. You wanted to go to the beach afterwards, but there's too much. Yes, that is like when the temperatures go up in the Netherlands, people kind of run to the beach. Hold on. Which I kind of get, because my sister now lives a little bit closer to the coast, and during the last heat wave, it was considerably cooler there. But, you know, Dutch people being Dutch, they will then sit on the beach in the full sun, which kind of negates the fact that it's cooler at the coast. And yeah, so, and like literally everybody goes to the coast. And you get all these crazy traffic jams. I think in parts, I don't know if you know, Ariana, because my son's summer holidays are starting at the end of this week. So this is his last day of school, technically, but he doesn't really have any classes. And that'll also do wonders for traffic. My daughter was on the Wadden Islands. Wadden Islands. Yeah, that's going well. 2 languages. This weekend, same feeling. Wanted to be there. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's just funny, like, I don't know, it's the first time that my son actually goes and travels on his own. Like he does travel by train to places, but not like an actual, you know what I mean, right? And so it's funny how that works in the brain, because on one hand I'm like absolutely stoked to be alone, and on the other hand, yeah, your brain is just there, which is also fine. So I mentioned it before, I think I'll mention it again. This is just one of the, I think it's Tombow mono erasers, and it's just one of the refills, and I don't have the actual holder. I have the rectangular holder where you put the rectangular refills in, but I bought these and I just chose the wrong shape, I suppose. But I kind of like them, like I'm obsessed with these. Without the holder, it's fine. And they're very hard. And they hold a decent edge, like they maintain a decent edge while you're doing this. And they're very decent erasers, so it kind of feels like you have like a white pencil, you know what I mean? You saw 50s. Well, there's something hot about fashion design from the 50s, right? They're just negative gray. Yeah, right. The class was so cool. Got no rest. Ah, cool. Oh, that's really cool. Where's my pencil? I'm just gonna... So this is one of those areas, you know, where you have the upper arm, and then you have the forearm, and then you have what is basically, I don't know if I can show this. I can't. I don't think so. Basically, you have this area, right? And I find, like, when you draw arms and you can see the back, like the elbow, that usually is easier for me. I kind of memorized what that does, but the inside of the elbow is a very funny structure where it dips on the inside, but then the forearm has this either a tendon or a muscle, I'm not really sure, coming out. And those are often like the situations where I just wanna check. And sometimes I check in the mirror, and sometimes I take a photo. That transition, you know, to get that right. Well, let me catch up. Showed my couch workspace. Yes, I love that couch workspace. Got an extending arm. Good, good. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. You know, I think it's great because that's really what Kara's Kara, oh God, is good at. Is like this figuring out your teaching style, and just running with that, you know. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have help. It is. And I had a lot of help from Kara as well, and she also offered a lot of help. I'm not like the person to sort of take that or accept that easily, but she did offer behind the scenes, when I was doing mixed emotions. She was very available. And none of that obviously is addressed and or shown or whatever in the end product, but she was definitely very, very helpful. Yeah. I'm intrigued when I see you draw figures you seem to have memorized so much. Yeah, I remember that. That, let's face it, that was such a like thing, and that's also one of the things. This is also what I love about Kara. You can drop your out of the box ideas, and she will be honest with you, because it's her product, let's face it. So she will be honest with you about whether or not it's suitable or if you have to make some adjustments. And so, yeah, I had that idea, and it's just nice if somebody tells you, yeah, I think some people are gonna like it. And she also said, I think some people are not gonna like it, which is also fine. And it's just a good thing to hear. But yeah, on the topic of memorizing things, I think I addressed that at the time in that lesson as well. But I didn't really try to draw by memory, but I noticed more and more that when I was working in my sketchbook, I would almost automatically do it. And then I started pushing that a little bit to see, you know, how much I could do. And then suddenly I realized that I had memorized more than I thought I did, just by repetition, just by not even drawing a whole lot, but just looking at stuff with a drawing mindset, if you will. So I would, for instance, look in the mirror and, you know, instead of being an asshole about it, just be like noticing the difference between your ear and your shoulder, or the difference between your shoulder and, you know, where this trapezium shaped muscle in your neck, and noticing that. Just noticing a lot of stuff. Ooh, the distance from, for instance, your, is it your clavicle? That one, this bone here. To, for instance, your nipple, which is a great thing to, you know, so you don't make everything too short. And I started noticing stuff like that, even without drawing. And I think it's fun, or I think it's fun, you don't have to think it's fun. But sometimes it's fun to see how much can I draw from what I stored in my mind. It can be a fun, like, I don't know, maybe an experiment or something like that. Okay, now we got a bit of a hand. Course materials, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm like still old school and do that in design. Yep. It's a weekly meetup. Oh, cool, cool, cool. The 3 figures, that's a good question. I don't know if it was, I don't think it was, I'm always 1 year ahead because we're already recording for next year. So I think it may be 2025 or 24, because it wasn't this year. It was in Let's Face It. Yeah. I can probably see if I can put it on my website, because those rights have been released back to me, but I'm lazy and slow with that. I think I was an oil paint. I cannot stop thinking about it. Because I remember didn't I do something on YouTube as well? I'm gonna look that up tonight for you, because I think I did the charcoal preliminary work on YouTube at the time, and then did the oil paint for Let's Face It. Something like that. I'm gonna look it up. Your goal is to have a little course of your own by the end of the year. Cool. Ah, that's really cool. Yeah, maybe you should do the lesson again. Yeah, it was a bit different, but it's fine. Oh, let me catch up and drink from my giant water bottle. Yes, you will have us to bounce off ideas. That would be great. Kelly went down the, let's face it, rabbit hole, and let's face it, 2024 week 32. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'm kind of happy like I got some people because my smarty brain decided to, you know, run the summer sale, and then a bunch of people were like, oh, cool. I had no idea your courses existed. I'm gonna go do them. And now I got people posting stuff from foundations and from mixed emotions. It just made me realize that I missed that, you know. That was just really cool to see people's work, you know, to be a part of that again. The longer, because it was an insecurity thing, and the longer you let that sort of fester, the worse it gets, I guess. Like, it starts leading a life of its own. And now that people are doing the course again, yeah, it's not so bad. It was just really bad in my head, in my mind. But it's fun. Like, it's great to see. So yeah, if you want to do Let's Face It lessons that I did and posted in my Facebook group, that would be, I love that. Yeah, so Silke is doing foundations. Yeah, that's what she was talking about Friday. Oh, all right. We did a whole arm, 30 minutes. There we go. Maybe we can do the other arm. I got my paper down. Oof. With some clamps. I've tried. Like, it's awful when you accidentally snap them or like release them and they go like pang, and this is not is it kind of, can I hold on. That's better. There we go. We are big fans. You should not be so insecure. It's a thing. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Now, I found that when I stay alone or in my head with my insecurity, it sort of compounds that. It just grows and grows and grows, and it feeds on whatever. And every time I put it out, whether it's work or course or just like general feelings, whatever, you know, and I put it out there, it sort of depressurizes and it's fine again. And that is just, I think, also a process that I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that working. I think for a long time I told myself, I think a lot of people tell themselves, that it is an issue that you need to solve on your own, or it's an issue that needs to be sort of eradicated. And for me, it's more like it's something that if I don't address it, it's gonna flare up. And if I do the things that I know work, then it helps. Then it gets better. So this is one of the things that reference photos are great for, right? Because I basically blocked this in, as in I didn't think about it, and it's sitting just a little bit too low. Because if you take this, like from the shoulder cap to the elbow, you're kind of sitting around here. And then when you take it from the shoulder cap to here, now the elbow is sitting. And you can make it a little bit lower because this might be, if the arm is going down, the shoulder automatically sits a little bit lower, but it's still here and not here, right? That's where the elbow sits. So you automatically get the underarm sitting here. And this shit used to freak me out, like in graphite. If you have this type of thing off, I would just rip it up. And now I'm fine. I'm just gonna grab my blocks. It's called co-regulation. Well, that's a cool word. I heard of it, but not a lot. That's a good word to have in store. Co-regulation, yes. It's a normal human need, yes. That's good. That's good. I like knowing these things. I know we talked about it a lot before, but it's been so helpful to watch you, hear you. Cool, yeah. Thanks, yeah, thank you for listening. About the arm, it still reads as normal. Yeah, I think the human brain can handle a lot of distortion. And I think especially in the body, like we're more attuned to the face in terms of, you know, we can do with very little detail and still know it's a human face. But at the same time, we're also very aware of things that are off. These things are a lifesaver. Boom, area filled. It's relatively new to me, the word. Yeah, to me, yeah. Isn't that also like co-regulation? Isn't that also a term that's used, with kids when they're young and they sort of need to learn how to regulate their emotions during that process, where they basically mirror off their surroundings, right? So when they're surrounded by people who have badly regulated emotions, they tend to not learn that. But also, I think co-regulation. I don't know if it falls under co-regulation, but it's definitely part of the category where they research stuff is mass hysteria or mass psychosis, if you will. There's also a really interesting thing to read about until 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're like, whoops, I was supposed to sleep. Before I spend it on... No, just send it my way, and I will keep your money for you. It'll be safe with me. The goods, yeah. Yeah, with babies, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know more about that than me. Oh yeah, I was thinking about your painting during the Zoom call. No pressure, by the way, just like take your time. It was so beautiful. It was so nice. It was really great. Great idea to do that. You need parents to learn how to handle emotions. Do we not? Yeah. Oh. One thing I learned my kid, though, is that it's not easy to handle emotions. There you go. You're welcome. I would love to see that with crazy colors. That would just be really cool. Let me see. The one thing I haven't really thought about is like the value hierarchy in this whole thing, which is a really fancy word to say what can be light and what can be dark. Value hierarchy. We can do like an Attenborough style documentary on that, like in the hierarchy of values. The female sits on top, obviously. Well, address the, like, we're gonna fill this up with a bunch of figures as well. I'm gonna do that next time. We don't have a lot of time left. What I will say about these graphics, because this area I did with a number 3. And so the number 3 is still designated as soft, but the box has 1 through 6, right? So the 6 being the really black onyx type thing. But the 3 is soft. The 1 is considered hard, but I do find them all to be quite blendable, right? They're quite, how do you say that? Sort of dusty, if you will. And that is great, because I noticed that, you know, if you use that for filling up areas, that is great, and they're also very erasable, right? So I'm talking about the Derwent graphite blocks, obviously. And that's just nice, because I also have a jar of graphite powder. But the thing with powder, and the same with charcoal, is that I often find it difficult to distribute it evenly. Whereas even if you use like a cotton pad or anything to put it down, where you put it down, you end up with more product basically than the surrounding area. But I find this quite easy to work with. It takes a little bit of time to learn how, but yeah, I think it's cool stuff. I love the scratchy noises. Yeah, me too. I think. Did I mention that in one of the live streams? Like, that's one of the reasons why I like drawing. And when I was a kid, actually, I used to just fill in areas with a pencil, like scratch like that. And I think it's just the sound that is soothing. And one of the other reasons why sometimes I like to use reference photos, this is also a limitation of my mind. I don't know if it's everyone's mind, maybe you can train it, but very often when you draw from your mind, you sort of simplify your poses, right? So stuff gets drawn either from the front or from the side, just rotations that you're familiar with, and that can often, especially with hands and sometimes with like neck and shoulder positions, it can get a little bit staged, a little bit, yeah, posed, if you will. And it's, you know, it's fine because it's just, I think it's a normal limitation. You know, you look at cartoons, cartoon drawings, you often also see a lot of repeating poses, hand positions, etc. And also, of course, because the work needs to be done faster. Yeah, Zoom filters it. That's unfortunate. Sometimes not, but Zoom filters out incredible amounts of background noise, really. I love the sound of my spoon stirring in my tea in the morning. Oh, that's cool. I hate that. Absolutely. I used to actually have wooden spoons because I can't stand the sound. Morning ASMR, yeah. I don't have acrylic raw umber. How do you not have acrylic raw umber? Go get acrylic raw umber and make sure that it's transparent, because I remember having this situation. Libby and I had a situation where I don't know if it was mixed emotions or no, I think it was foundations actually. And I thought in my inexperience that burnt umber in acrylic was always a semi-transparent pigment. It turned out it was not, because Libby went out and bought some brand of burnt umber and it was like wall paint. I don't even want to say what it was like, but y'all can imagine. It was ugly, and it painted ugly, and it mixed ugly, and everything was ugly. And poor Libby was like, I think I bought the wrong thing. And I was like, no, I think I just said I gave you the wrong information. And then we banned that that burnt umber, but that was awful. So make sure when you get the raw umber that it's like a nice raw umber, and like a little bit semi-transparent. Then you're good. Raw umber's great. It's also not super, like, it's cheap. It's one of those cheaper pigments in oil and in acrylic, so it won't set you back. That much. I like raw umber because it's like gray with a punch. It's my colorful gray. I love gray. I love this. I love graphite. I love this so much because every time this month I start the live streams, not that I don't like color, just for the record, but why is my screen going? Come back. Every time I start the live stream, I just grab my pencil and I'm good to go. Like, I don't need to think about that. I got my pencil plate box thingy, whatever. I don't need to put color down. I don't need to decide if I need an extra color. I don't need to decide if I'm gonna pre-mix stuff, so I don't have to do it. I have to save time during live. It's like, yes, let's go. It's such a natural way for me to work. I'm just very gray. All right, we're gonna stop. That sounds horrendous. It was horrendous. It was also hilarious. Like, it was just, it was fun. Is there a specific Facebook group? Yeah, so I'm thinking, I used to make new groups for all my courses, which was fine and fair enough. But I think it's more fun for everyone if, you know, everything is in one group, because it's not like there are thousands of people in the group. So I have my art community on Facebook. If you search for my name, Sabra, and then art community, you will probably find it on Facebook. I think you're already in. I think I mentioned it at the beginning of the month. So you can just put all your work there. There are a bunch of other people who put their work there as well. And that way other people who are not in the course can also see your work, which I think is also nice and fun. Yes, it will be a new favorite. It will be your new favorite. Non-color. Cool. All right. We're gonna go watch the last semifinal of the thing that we don't call football in the United States. And drink some more water. My throat is raw. Yeah, we drew 2 arms. Good for us. I think, yeah, I think next week live stream again, right? Yeah. So if you're starting course, yeah, let me know, tag me. I will keep an eye on the group also as well. That would be cool. Yeah, announce away all you want. That's cool. Thanks for joining me. Take it easy. Stay cool, even though it's hot. And I will probably work on this a little bit this week, so I'll keep you posted on social media, and I will continue with it during the next live stream. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye. Mwah.